Ibergeregg. I have chosen Ibergeregg pass for today's route. Okay, I'm gonna wait a bit until everybody's gone past because I'm sure they're gonna be slower. So this is not the trickiest pass, it's not the fastest pass, it's also not the widest pass. And I came here because I think it is just challenging enough for the Cupra Born. I hope they don't take this the wrong way. Alright, this is supposed to be sportier than the ID3. Now let's see. They even tout sporty ESP setting. Let's see. Now I'm driving in one pedal mode, and actually ESP is a good thing to start talking about because it is constantly flashing, which means there would be enough torque to spin the wheels, and it would spin the wheels if you just step on the accelerator. Yeah, this is very tight. This is very tight. Not that fun to drive, actually. Okay, ESP flashing. Drive profile. So if you switch to performance, what is going to happen? So we have the Cupra base model with the smaller battery, which should be good for roughly 400 kilometers of range. You can have this battery with the more powerful setup, because I'm pretty sure it's the same electric motors that provide the 310 Newton meters of torque. But instead of 204 horsepower, you're getting 231 with what Cupra calls e-boost. And with that motor setup, we can also have the bigger battery, the 77 kilowatt hour battery, for roughly 100 kilometers more. So one thing that I notice is not necessarily that it's sportier. The ride seems to be better than in the ID3, but that one came on eco tires, and this one's on Continental winter contacts. What are those, TS050s or TS850s, something like that? It's the same tire that I have on my Golf, and it's the same tire that I drove on the Mazda MX-30, and that one felt actually brilliant. I mean brilliant, as brilliant as one of those EVs can be. ESP is still constantly flashing, so I'm not sure that I'm getting a bit more reins on the ESP. I'm sure they knew that people would go silly with this car. I mean, it's rear-wheel drive, there's plenty of torque, plenty of immediate torque. Alright, let's leave it in performance. So yeah, I cannot feel that much difference actually. But I like the one-pedal driving. Feels a bit like engine braking in a car with a naturally aspirated engine. And yeah, the road is way too tight to really be able to push it and do some performance driving. Stability control is so harsh, so aggressively set up. Does not give you anything. Also, there are more scenic routes, but this is alright. There's also a thing with range. I am not very much into this EV game, so range anxiety is still very much present. And I thought, well, I'm gonna pick a mountain pass that is nearby. Cyclists always present, always dangerous. Yeah, so what else? The interior looks nicer, definitely. The seats are much better, really better. Then, yeah, how it's to drive. How is it to drive? I'm not sure actually, because it does not feel that much different than the ID3. So is it a rebadged ID3? So one guy tweeted a response to my tweet, and he said it's a rebadged ID3 and it's hard to shake, right? Because the cars are so similar. Even they look a bit different on the outside. I mean, you're not fooling anybody. They are very similar. Feels like a rebadging job, and I cannot confidently say that, yeah, it feels entirely different to the ID3. But the interior is nicer. It is a bit cheaper than the ID3. On the outside, it also looks a bit better. So maybe that's enough to choose the Cupra Born over the ID3. Yeah, it's also a bit of a convoy situation here. It's also very interesting because I came here with the first ever press car that I got. I came here. It was May, it was still winter basically, and it was a Cupra. I came here with the Cupra Formentor, my first press car. So there's even a bit of history to this. Alright. There's quite a bit of roll. This is already the highest point of Ibergeregg Pass. Please turn left. Yes, thank you. Now, going downhill in a modern turbocharged car is not that exciting because, yeah, there's pretty much no engine braking at all. And here, in one pedal mode, it feels alright. Oh, I got a bit of a sweep there. Oh, nice. So yeah, if you wanna okay. Braking. Was a bit of ABS action there. So yeah, if you want to get the back end to step out, you have to work with the weight, of which there is quite a bit, obviously, even though they claim it's 50-50 weight distribution because of the battery that's mounted in the middle, but I'm not sure how much it's worth. And yeah, I mean, if you have to play with the weight of the car, I mean, you can do that in any kind of car. It doesn't even have to be rear-wheel drive. by. I'd love to do that. But it's front-wheel drive. So yeah, maybe Cupra is always selling the sporty bit a bit. Because the tire wood is not half bad actually. It's wet here. Let's see what effect this has. I'm not happy with the brakes, and it doesn't even seem like it's the rear drums that seem insufficient. It's the overall brake performance, I would say. ESP is hyperventilating. The other thing is, with the looming energy crisis, I'm not saying that there will be petrol readily available for all future, but it seems like the situation for EVs is much more dire. Or am I too pessimistic? Not sure. It's a bit wider here, okay. Technically, the Mountain Pass Road is not finished yet, but it's not getting any more interesting, so I think we can draw a conclusion here. It's alright. I don't hate driving it, but honestly, it's also doesn't feel like it wants you to drive fast, at least not in corners. I still prefer it over the ID3 for multiple reasons, but sporty driving is actually not one of them. Thanks.